It's a man from Jake's drawings.
Who is he?
He's a sorcerer.
Good help.
Been there. Now burn.
My vision of the Man in Black was always that he is a truly evil person. There's no, oh, this villain has a really good reason for being evil. You know, you always do that. But in this instance, there's none of that. Like, he just loves chaos.
Walter is obsessed with the Crimson King, with the power of the Crimson King, with the absolute and utter darkness, the horror, the nihilism. It is resonated somehow in Walter. There is a tuning fork in Walter that understands this absolute evil. By being so closely aligned with this presence, this entity, Walter starts to be able to tickle and utilize older skills that humans have forgotten, magical skills, powers that have typically gotten lost into the firmament of the earth, come up to help him.
He's been alive for quite a lot of years and done this for a lot of years, the Man in Black, so he will try to have a little fun with whatever he's doing. So that was the vision, and I think Matthew loved that.
Quintessentially, he's the bad guy in this mythic battle of good versus evil. So the world would say the Man in Black is the bad guy. Walter knows he's not the bad guy. Walter is a guy who's sitting there going, look, God is pain. Come with me, and you'll be just fine with who you were before we met. You know, the devil's not in the definition of things. The devil's in saying yes to all of it, which if you say yes to everything, you've lost your way. And Walter guarantees the one thing that is guaranteed, and that's death.
We both know that no matter who crosses the finish line first, the universe will die out eventually. Death always wins. That's the deal.
You know, when I started the Dark Tower, I really saw the gunslinger as a kind of Clint Eastwood character. If there was an analog between Walter and somebody in those movies, it would be Lee Van Cleef, who was always Clint Eastwood's enemy in those pictures, and he had this sort of thin and sinister look, which Matthew McConaughey carries very, very well. And he's got a body like a rapier, like a very thin, very strong sword. There's a scene in the movie where he's crossing a street in New York, and he is just sinister walking in that scene. So he's a perfect Walter. He's a perfect guy to play the part.
The tower will fall, Roland. Until next time, old friend.
The rivalry it's a long rivalry. I think the Man in Black and Roland have been at odds with each other for so long. And the Man in Black has basically done some heinous things to Roland, for which Roland wants his revenge, period. The Man in Black is super aware of being chased by Roland and sort of taunts him in his dreams, taunts him as a ghost, as in his imagination. Because I think he knows that Roland probably will never get to him.
I've had Roland walking in circles for centuries. It's gotten kind of boring. He's not that big of a challenge. So the fact that he found his path again, when Jake has found him and got him back on his path to now come search me, now gives me quite a bit of a buzz. And I get that tingly feeling again, that we may be reunited. And at the same time, how much that turns me on, part of what turns me on is that it's the only thing that could be the end of me.
So the history between the Man in the Black is a big, big component. In fact, for a lot of the film, you realize that Roland is going on this journey for his own means. Even though Jake has introduced him into a way to find the Man in Black for a purpose, Roland's going for a very different reason.
I feel that I can walk that tightrope where I can walk him right up to the edge where he can actually witness it live, the tower falling. It's sick in that I want to have my cake and eat it too, and if anybody can have their cake and eat it too, it's the Man in Black. So this game, I don't really want it to end because it's lonely to win in a way. I've got ambitions. If the tower comes down, I take the seat next to the king, and what my plans are from there are my own, and I'll share those later on, but not here. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying this game.
Gunslinger!
Matthew had many ideas for Walter, and before we started shooting, we would write like a lot of ideas down, or he would have ideas like, can you say this as well? And maybe we should do that, and maybe we should put this scene in. And he had a lot of dialogue ideas, which were really fun and clever. He was very connected in a fun way to Walter. I think he's not used to playing these kind of evil, horrible guy, and he was enjoying himself. He was having fun.
I wasn't looking for the journey of the hero who doesn't know, who may have lost his way, who gets resurrected in Act 3. It was a great role. I think Idris is right on for it. What I was interested in, what my mind and imagination took off on was, well, the Man in Black. Now, not necessarily the devil, but that's my home base. What's the devil do? What's the devil thing? And the play on that, my imagination just ran. I was like, well, this is the guy. This is the guy I want to be. This is the guy I'd like to have fun portraying.
What a wacky character. It's one of Stephen King's great characters. You know, he has all these weird sayings and, you know, sort of idiosyncratic behavior that, you know, I think someone like Matthew just eats up. And on screen, he just looks incredible. He looks incredible. Obviously, he's wearing black. He has this great hair, and he has this twinkle in his eyes. He's a likable bad guy.
Get ready. Tall, dark, and handsome is about to crash the party.
I think that he did a really brilliant job at adding an element of humor to Walter, a really clever, sadistic humor that sort of adds a layer to Walter that very well couldn't have been there had anyone else played it.
Obviously, he's a really funny guy, but when he's doing his scenes, he's just so in it. He becomes it. So it helps me become it, to Jake as well. He's got such a great persona that it's just really real, and then you finish, and it's all a bit of a, whoo, damn, that was intense.
It's great as an actor when you work with somebody like that. You know, you don't have to act so much as just react. You know, just be there and, like, you know, have this experience with this good actor that really sinks in and becomes this character.
All righty. Let's go put everyone out of their misery, shall we? Have a great apocalypse.
Ever since humans took on this idea of faith and God gave them free will, they're doing a lot of the work for me. They're doing very good at self-destructing. Now, do they need my help? Sometimes I need to nudge them along. Maybe I need to speed the process up, but I find it very entertaining to see the hypocrisies that the human existence lives by, and I'll expose those. You know, Walter has many versions of evil, whether it's a strain of flu that takes out a civilization, whether it's unleashing demonic animals to go rape and pillage, or whether it's exposing someone's personal guilt to the extent that they will self-destruct. There's all kinds of fun ways to be evil.